this Ford Super Duty truck. We're going to have a look at the access on the headlights, we're going to look at the marker lights and tail lights. Let's get started. For today's application, we'll be using a Phillips screwdriver, that's the one with the star end, pick tool, fiber stick, 8mm socket, 1/4 inch ratchet, and extension. Okay, we want to remove our marker and signal lamp here, but first we have to remove our 2 Phillips screws along the bottom. Sometimes you have to use a pick tool and you just get in behind the screw, just turn it, then you can bring it all up together like so. Set that off to the side. Okay, just gently grabbing your light and just see if you can work it out first. Sometimes you can, and if you can't, fiber stick and just get it in and just give it that extra little pry. And then just rocking your light out of there like so. Okay, let's take out our double filament bulb here first. We want to take the pigtail off of the socket so we can have a look. We'll take this out so I can show you. On each side of this here, there's little tabs, one here and one on the other side. These break very easy, so just be gentle with them and just lift them out ever so easy and just work that off. Now here for our marker light, we have to push in on this tab here. So just press that in and just pull off. You can see that tab. See how it releases the light? Let's have a look at these bulbs. We'll start here by looking at our light here. That turns out counterclockwise and just comes out. These bulbs just push in, so you can just wiggle that out. This is a 3157 clear. It's a double filament bulb, and that's what our signal light works off of and our park light. Let's just push that back in. This light's still good. Remember, once you handle that light, always wipe it clean. We'll take the oils from our fingers off of that bulb, it'll last longer. Then we'll just place this back in since it's still good. This only goes in one way only, and turns in clockwise. Let's have a look at our marker light. That turns out counterclockwise also, and just lifts out of there. This here is a 194 bulb, and it's the same thing, it just pushes in. That's still good, so we're going to put it back in. Only goes in one way. You just have to find out where it drops in, and then you turn it back in clockwise. There we have it. Let's put this light back in. Here I'm going to show you our marker light and signal light. You can see here we have guide pins here and here. These guide pins go into our header panel here and over here to the far side. And then here are the retainers, one here and one here. These clip into these retainer clips here and here. So let's plug our lights back in and we'll slide that light back into its retainers and guides. Okay, we'll start by putting on our socket here. Do you want to do that again? Cut. We'll start by plugging our pigtail back into our socket. This only fits in one way. They don't give you much room to work with here, so just take your time, line things up. Make sure our retainers clip back over top of that socket. And then taking our little one for a 194 push-in bulb socket and just pushing that back. There, it clicked. It means it's secured. Now let's line up this light. First we want to put in our retainer in here behind that light. So just gently get that in behind. And then we want to work at lining up our guide pins, like so. Just taking your time. And just sliding it back into place and clipping it in. Sometimes if you don't have a magnetic screwdriver, your screw keeps falling off trying to put it in there. So a little trick, just a little piece of tape. And just fold it over, placing it onto the head of the screw, and just putting your Phillips screw driver back into the head. That will hold it on there just enough so you'll be able to put it in and thread that back into place. There we have it. Let's have a look at the headlight. These headlamp capsules do not come out. If you want to exchange a headlamp capsule, you have to remove the entire header panel, which is another job in itself to remove the lights. Just because of the way these clips here are made for that light to come out, it makes it very difficult for you. But they've given us access for these headlights. It is quite tight, but if you take your time, you'll be able to do it. So if we just come around the other side over here, you can see the bulb right here, and you can see the retaining collar here that's holding it in place. Now what we want to do is we want to turn that retaining collar off. That'll allow us to bring out the bulb, the pigtail, and the light all in one piece up. So let's do that. Okay, I have to show you a small tight view here of the retaining collar, but I'm just going to reach in behind the rad support, and I'm going to grab a hold of that, and I'm going to turn that out counterclockwise, and then just pull everything out. This allows me access to that bulb. Now what I want to do here is hold on to my light, and I can just pull that collar down, and that releases it a lot of the times. That light just slides in there, and then this light must have been out in this vehicle before, because usually there's two tabs, and it was broken, so this person didn't take care in changing their bulb. But this one tab still holds that light secure, but we want to lift that like that, and that there releases that bulb. This is a 2 headlamp system. This is an HB5 9007. Now, and here's our retaining clip here. And if you have this off, you can always look inside it here, and it tells you the direction on and off. And you just look. So right like that, and when we put our light back into the capsule, there's 2 different depths in here, and we want to take the shorter depth end of the retainer collar back on towards the headlamp capsule, and that there slides in like this, and it locks your light onto the back of the capsule. Let's put this back in. I've touched the end of this bulb, taken it in and out, so I want to wipe that clean. I want to get the oils from my fingers off of that bulb. That just allows that bulb, it'll work a lot longer. Just clean that up nice. Now I want to take this light, and it only goes in one way, and it goes with this clip here facing upward, because that's which way your pigtail clips onto it. And I want to slide that back into our headlamp capsule first, so I'll go ahead and do that. Next we'll take our collar, and we're going to slide that back into place. And it only goes on one way, and it locks into position. And then secure it in clockwise. you feel it clip into place and you know you have it. And then we want to take our pigtail, our retaining clip up, and slide that onto the back of our light next. You can hear it clip into place. And there you have it. Let's get around and have a look at those taillights. Okay, now we want to remove our taillight assembly here. We have two 8mm screws back here that are into the plastic housing. And around on this side we have some guides and retainers that go into retainer clips on the box panel. Let's take this light off. We take our 8mm socket and our ratchet and we just turn those out counterclockwise. Just setting those off to the side. Now just getting your fingers in behind your light and just holding onto it. Taking a fiber stick so we don't mar the paint or the light. And just getting it in behind there. Just pop those retainer clips out. This allows you access to your sockets. Let's pull these apart right here. Now, these sockets, these pigtails in these sockets, they have little retainers that sit on each side of the bulb, of the bulb socket itself here. And we've got to lift those up very gently because they're actually quite delicate, and we just want to work that off. You can see how that spreads apart. You don't want to pull on it too hard because you'll break, and then you don't want that slipping off of your socket. And the same with the bottom. Just be very gentle with it. Let's have a look at these lights. We'll start here with our backup bulb. This just turns out counterclockwise and comes out. And then that light there just pulls right out like that. And this light here, this is a 3156 clear. It's got a single filament in there, and that comes on when you're backing up. That's your backup light bulb. We'll just push that back in there, clip it, secure it. We want to wipe that off. I've handled the bulb. We want to make sure it's as clean as we can and get the greases from our fingers off of it so it lasts longer. This light here, the socket only goes in one way, so you find where it drops into the housing. Then just secure it in clockwise. Now our marker light, signal light, tail light, let's take that out. Same thing. It just slips right out of there like that. There it is there. This is a 3157K. It's a clear double filament bulb. This is your signal lights, your park lights, and your marker light for the back of your truck. This bulb's still good. Let's put that back in. It just slips straight in and just clips back into place. Wipe that clean. And the same thing. It just drops in only one place and secures. Let's get this light back in. When reinstalling our tail light, we have two guide pins here, one here and one here. We go in up here, in here. That's our guides. And here's our retainer clips where these retainers come in. Those are the ones that hold it secure into the box panel. We'll first start by hooking up our lights. Those only clip in one way only. Nice and secure like that. Then lining everything back up. Lining up our guide pins. And then just pushing those back into place. Let's get our screws back in. We'll start these off by hand. Just give them a little bit of a turn there. And then the bottom one. Then taking our 8mm socket and securing the lights back into their place. We don't want to over tighten them. It's only a plastic housing. We don't want to strip it out because we don't want your light flopping around, so just nice and gentle. And there you have it. Today we had a look at the marker lights, the signal lights, the tail lights, and the backup bulb in this Ford Super Duty truck. And how we had to change our headlamp inside of the capsule still in the truck. It's very easy to do, and I know you can do it and save yourself some money. From the Body Shop and AutoBodyTips.net, thank you.